ladies and gentlemen? It's Papa Jellybean. I am back. I'm back with another creation kit tutorial. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you how to turn Mystic Pines or any existing location into a settlement. I am going to be posting this as a mod, but I figured, well, why not show you guys how to change an existing location into a settlement? So here we are, we're at Mystic Pines. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you want to press the letter B. This will bring up these little black and yellow markers indicating cells. Now Mystic Pines is kind of funny because this is Mystic Pine right here, but the second half of it is actually in a wilderness cell, as you can see here highlighted. So what I want to do and what I'm going to show you is I'm going to be adding this cell, and this cell into the settlement. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to also incorporate this section of the overpass into the settlement. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to come up here, click on the little, I call it a floppy disk, and we're going to make a save. So it's going to be Mystic Pines Settlement. Just hit save. Now that has created our save. So now what are we going to do about these other three cells that we want to add? Well, that's quite easy. So we're into the Mystic Pine location, so I'm just going to highlight something so I can spin around here. Okay, so we do have this cell already as the Mystic Pine cell. What we're going to do is now we're going to come over here slowly until we see wilderness, and as you can see, it is highlighted. What we're going to do is we're going to slowly click on it. We're going to type in Mystic Pines EXT02. Enter. Okay, so now that one's part of Mystic Pines. Then what we're going to want to do is come over here to this cell, and the exact same thing. Look for the one that's highlighted, slowly double click on it, and again, Mystic, oh, I can't spell. EXT03, enter. Okay, so now we'll go over to our fourth and final one. And again, where it's highlighted, slowly double click. Zero 04. So now we have all four of these cells named to Mystic Pines, but they are not associated with Mystic Pines yet. What we have to do in order to associate them with the Mystic Pines, come up here to World, go down to Cells, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go down here where our four Mystic Pine cells are. So the first one is already highlighted. We're going to come up here to Location, look for Mystic Pines, click on that. Now the acoustic space and music type are totally optional, but I like doing them because, well, I like to be different. Hit apply, come down to our second one, and just do exactly the same thing. Come to Location, Mystic Pines, and again I'm doing the acoustic and the music. Hit apply. Now come up to the third one, and you're just going to do this for all four of the cells that you have added. Hit apply, and now for the fourth and final one. apply and now hit OK. What we're going to do now is we're going to come over here to world data, come down to our location. In the filter, we're going to type in Mystic. We're going to right click and hit edit. There's our 4 cells, as you can see. Now we're going to come down here to keywords. We're going to clear this one. So we're going to delete that one. And what we're going to do now is we're going to right click, hit add. At the top, we're going to type in Loctite. We're going to do clearable because we're going to want to clear out all the crap. Add. Now we're going to put settlement because we are making this into a settlement. We are adding a workshop, so we have to put Loctite workshop. Right click again and hit add, and now we're doing workshop settlement because the workshop will be making it into a settlement. And then if you come over here to location ref types, there's the map marker. So once that's all done, you double checked it, made sure everything was okay, press OK. Save your mod. You have to save a lot because the Creation Kit has a terrible habit of crashing. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to come over here to Zone. Mystic Pine is already in the filter. Right click, hit edit. We're going to change the minimum level to 1, max to 99. We're going to click never reset, and we're going to click workshop. And as you can see, the Mystic Pines location is already there. So we're going to hit OK. Now one of the other options that you have is if you come over here to where the map marker is, double click on the map marker, we don't want that bunch, we want the map marker. When you come over here to marker data, you can leave it as Mystic Pines. The type, I'm going to change this to a, well actually I'm just going to leave it the way it is. You can change that to a settlement if you want. Now this is optional. What you can do is you can make it visible and able to fast travel right away, or you can leave it as discoverable. What I'm doing, and I do for all my settlements, is I make it so that the player can fast travel to it immediately. So once that's done, press OK and save. Now we're going to come down to our layers. We're going to go new layer, Mystic Pines settlement layer. Press OK. Now you'll see it down here. What you're going to do now is you're going to come over to here where the A is, and you're going to activate that layer. So now anything we do now will be on its own separate layer. So it won't interfere with anything else around here. So now we're going to get into the fun stuff. So I'm going to take a quick second so I can go do what I have to do and then come back. So I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So now we're going to get into the fun stuff. Now you see this purple or whatever it is, if you just find the edge of it, click on it and then hit 1 twice, that will make all that pink stuff go away because we don't want that pink stuff. And we do not want to delete it. That is far most important. So now what we have to do is we have to decide where exactly we're going to put our workbench. And I'm going to be putting it in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear out a little bit of this stuff. So what you're going to do, if you want to clear out any of this stuff, highlight it all, like I am doing right now. Now you do not want to delete it. If you delete it, you could mess up your pre-combines Precombines, what it does is it takes a group of the exact same items and it bunches them together into one. So you don't want to mess that up. So once you got what you want to get rid of, highlight it, come up to View, come down to Reference Batch Action Window, come down here to Set to Initially Disable, press Do a few times, click off into the frame, hit your Z key, and just drag it all underground. Just like that. So now that we've got this emptied a little bit, what we're going to do now is we're going to look for our workshop. So I'm going to clear out the filter, click All, and then we're going to type in workshop or workbench workshop. Or is it workshop workbench? I can't remember. Oh, this is terrible. Workshop workbench. Ah, there we go. That's a lot better. So what we're looking for is this one here that has nothing beside it. Simply pull that in, drag and drop. Press your W key, spin it around. Now what we're going to do is we're going to name it. So Mystic Pines underscore workshop underscore settlement. Then we're going to come over to the script tab, using your arrow keys to get there. Go to scripts, right, hit add, and it takes a bit. And while we're waiting, you'll notice right up here, layer, it is being added to that brand new layer that we created. So once this box comes up here, what you want to type in is default, move, and you're looking for this default move to editor location on load. What that script will allow you to do, okay, just cancel, is if you decide that you don't want the workbench here, you want to move it somewhere else, you're able to do that. So just simply press OK and save. I save a lot. I was taught to save a lot, and it saved my butt a lot of times. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing markers. So we're going to have to find basically the center of our location, which, you know, about here. So we're going to get rid of some of these trees again. Do I got something up here that I can't click on? No? Ah, there we go. So I'm just going to get rid of these again, just like before. And if you're doing multiple selects, I forgot to tell you, hold down the control key. Okay, so I'm just going to clean this up just a little bit. I'm actually going to be cleaning up the settlement a little bit more. Again, come to View, Batch Action Window. The initially set to disable is already checked, so we're just hitting Do. Right click, hold the Z key down, and we're just going to get rid of all that stuff. We don't want that stuff. Now we're going to come to our object window, clear out the filter, and we're going to type in X marker. We're looking for X marker heading. We're going to drag that in. Going to lower it by pressing the E key, W key, and we're going to spin it around if it wants to cooperate. We're just going to move this over, make sure it's down right to the ground. And we're just going to put it right there in the center. Double click on it. Now I name everything. I love to name everything because it makes it so much easier for me to find. So what you're going to put in is Mystic Pines underscore center underscore settlement. Then what you're going to do using your arrow keys is you're going to come over to location ref type. Right click, hit new. Up in the filter you're going to type in location. Look for the center marker location. You're going to click on that, press OK, and OK. What you're going to notice now is this little purple box. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try and find the edges of our settlement, which would be right here. We're going to put in another X marker heading, kind of aim it towards where the workshop would be. Not that much, but. And now we're going to double click on it. Again, name it like I do. I'm sorry, but I name everything. Mystic Pines underscore edge underscore settlement. Again, you're already in the location ref type. Oh, I got the cap lock on. Look at that. That looks terrible. Oh my goodness gracious, people, I'm having such a hard time typing today. And there we go. Location is already highlighted, so all we do is we right click and hit new. Location will come up. Now we're doing an edge marker. So we're going to type on location edge marker. Now if one of your edge markers ends up in a water, you would use the edge marker water. But since we're doing it on land, we just have to do it. Just the regular edge marker, press OK, press OK. And this time a little blue dot will show up. Right click on that edge marker, hit copy. What we're going to do is we're going to be putting 3 more in to define our settlement. From what I understand is by doing this, if people are using Sim Settlement, it somehow helps with that. I'm not sure, but it does work. So you're going to right click, you're going to hit paste. Hit your W key and just kind of spin that around. Then we're going to move over to, where are we here? Okay. So we're going to put another one over here. Right click, hit paste. Kind of spin it around. And then we're going to put a final one over here. And there we have our 4 edge markers in. Now I just want to double check something. Always good to check. See, there is a marker here, so we're going to want to see what this one exactly is. And it doesn't really tell you. See, this is what happens if you don't name it, because now you don't know what it is. Now I already know what that one is, so what I'm doing is I'm going to click on it, because what this is actually the map marker spawn point. So I'm going to put map marker spawn. So that way I know what it is. And the reason why is if I go to link from right there, Mystic Pine map marker, that's how I know that that's the map marker spawn. It's because it is linked to the map marker. Now what you would do, I'm going to show you how it's done. So what you're going to do is you're going to double click on your map marker. You're going to come here to map marker data, And this is where you're going to put all the information, like I showed you earlier. But when you go to link it, what you do is you just simply go to link ref, come back over to where the map marker spawn is. You're going to right click. Sorry, you're not. Yeah, you're going to hit right click. You're going to hit new, select in reference window, and then you're going to double click on that. There, you will not need a keyword. So this is what you're going to be looking for. That is how you do the map marker spawn. So we're just going to cancel because it's already all done. Now the map marker spawn is just simply an X marker put into place. So now what we want is we want a settler spawn point. What I like to do is I like to keep them as close to the workbench as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in another X marker heading, spin that around, double click, and we're going to name this settler spawn point. You do not need to put anything else, you just need to put that there. You're going to press OK. So now what we're going to do is we're going to double click on our workbench, move our arrows over, and make sure that we're on linked ref. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our center marker first, right click, hit new, select reference and render window, double click on our center marker. You will need a keyword. The keyword will be workshop linked center. Press OK. Do not close this. Leave this open. Come back to where your settler spawn point is. Right click new, select reference and render window, double click on the settler spawn point, make sure the ref is what it is. The keyword will be workshop linked spawn. Workshop linked spawn. Press OK, press OK. Now you'll see these little blue lines here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the resource container. What the resource container does is it will have all of your stuff in there if you can fill it all up. So what we're going to come up here is we're going to come up here and we're going to type in resource container. We're going to come down here and we're going to look for resource container settlement. What we're going to do is we're going to right click and we're going to duplicate that. We're going to drag our copy in, double click on it, and we're going to name it Mystic Pines. Oh, I forgot. Gee, Murphy. Forgot the T. Underscore container underscore settlement. Now this next, and then you're going to press OK. Now this next section is completely optional. I do it for all my settlements. It helps the player with resources. So what you're going to do is you're going to double click on it. We're going to hit edit base. Now over here you're going to take the copy part and you're just going to type in Mystic Pines. Make sure the spelling is right because we know how hard it is. Now what you're going to do over here in item list is you're going to right click, hit new, come down here where it says object, and you're going to type in C. What this will do will bring up all your resources. So this is how I fill it up, and I just basically keep going. So once I'm finished, I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and as you can see, I have filled it all up with all the scrap material that everybody will need. So now you're just going to press OK, hit no because we did duplicate it, so we don't have to click yes. Press no, and then yes. Now while this is, and then press OK, save your mod. Save, save, save. Double click on your workbench. You should still be in linked ref. Right click new. Select reference and render window. Double click on our container. The keyword you will need is workshop linked container. Workshop linked container. Press OK. Press OK. Save your mod. Now with the chest, you just click on it, use your E key, and just drag it underground anywhere. You don't really need to have it showing up anywhere. So now what we're going to be doing is the workshop border. The workshop border doesn't have to be exact, because what we're going to be doing after that is we're going to be doing build area and a sandbox area. But I'm going to show you how to do the workshop border just so you know. So what we're going to do in our objects window is we're going to type in workshop border. Now I like using the airport border because the airport border is like nice, perfectly square. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come out here a little bit, and we're going to drag this into our settlement area. Now if it doesn't show up, it's probably gone underground, which it loves to do. See, there it is, underground, like I said. Okay, so now we want to kind of square it up, so we're going to use our W key. We're just going to kind of, just like that. Press your number 2 key, and what your number 2 key is we can expand this. So we're going to try and get it as best as we can. It will never be exact unless you go into Outfit Studios and you go absolutely crazy. Oh, where to go? Where to go? Now, I very, very seldom use a workshop border, but unfortunately, there are players that can get a little pissy if they don't see one. So now what we're going to do now is we're going to double click on our workshop border. I don't want that. What do I got? Why do that come up? I don't want that. I want the border. And we're just going to booger. Why does that say booger? It's not saying, it's supposed to be border. Just put an underscore there. Okay, now for the linked ref, where did it go? Oh, before I forget, set it to initially set to disable. So now what we're going to want to do is we're going to come back to our workbench, double click on our workbench. Why do I keep getting this cloud district? double click on our workbench, come back over to your workshop border, right click, hit new, select reference and render window, double click on your border, and the workshop linked You'll have to forgive me because I haven't done a workshop border in a very long time. Because like I said, I don't usually use them because they drive me crazy. Workshop linked build area edge. Press OK, OK, save your mod. So now what we're going to do now is you're going to come back to your workbench. Make sure your workbench is highlighted. Come up to the top here and click on the little cube that has the T in it. What we're going to type in the filter is default dummy. Click on that, press OK. Now we're going to turn off our gizmo by pressing the number 2 key. We're going to double click on the box and we're going to put in build area trigger. Come over to primitive. Now I like to change the colors. I use blue for my build area and my yellow for my sandbox area. You can use whatever color you'd like. So I'm going to be going with my blue. Press OK. Press OK, and now the box is blue. What you're going to do now is click on it, hit your number 2 key. Now this is where we're going to be doing a lot of. Now sometimes you'll see modders say use more than one build area box. I like to just use one box. It keeps everything, simplified. So what we're doing is we're basically putting this build area box around our whole settlement. Make sure you keep an eye on your cell view so you know that you're still within that area. So right over, we're just going to go past that just a little bit. Do the same on this side. Are we within our... No, we're not. So we have to come over to here. Ooh, the bridge is causing me an issue. Okay. It's a lot of fiddling. And there we go. We just want to go a little bit past. Now another thing I do is I like to go below ground quite a bit. I was taught because, and I agree with it because I find a lot of builders like to go underground. Now we're going to go very high with our build. Oops, my gizmo turned off. Now I got to find it. There. Where's my gizmo? Where the hell did my gizmo go? Oh my goodness gracious. I lost my gizmo. Come on, where's my gizmo? I'll be right back when I find my gizmo. Okay, I found my gizmo. So we're just gonna, like I said, we're just gonna put this build area over our whole settlement. And okay, a little too far that way. Always make sure that you press the B key and you have your map, your little grids up. Now because I am incorporating this, and I don't know if you will be incorporating it too, but I'm going to be incorporating the overpass. So I'm going to want to go very high with my build. then we're just going to double check it on this side if it'll cooperate, but you don't like to cooperate sometimes. And we're just going to go look for our edge right there, make sure it's there. So there we go. That is our build area. Turn off your gizmo. So what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to double click on your build area. That's not what it is. That's not what it is. Oh. Okay, there we go. Now once you get that, now you're going to want to come all the way down to your workbench. You're going to come over here to linked ref using your arrows. Right click, hit new. Select reference and render window. Double click on your workbench. Make sure it comes up in the reference. The key we want now, the keyword that we're looking for is workshop linked primitive. Workshop linked primitive. Press OK, OK, save your mod. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to zoom up. We're going to make sure that our build area trigger, we're going to right click and hit duplicate. Double click on the duplicate and you'll know it's duplicated by the 001. What we're going to do is we're going to change this to sand box trigger. Come down to primitive because like I said, I like to use yellow. You can use whatever colors you'd like. Press OK, press OK. Yes, we do want to make a new one. While that's still highlighted, again, turn on your gizmo by pressing the number 2 key, and then go on the search for it. The gizmos love to hide. Okay, I will be back again once I find the darn gizmo again. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I found the gizmo. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to raise this up just a little bit. It doesn't have to be too much. Just so it's distinct. Turn off your gizmo by pressing your number 2 key. Come down to your workbench. I know, a lot of up and down, up and down. Just enough that you can see your workbench. Come over to linked ref. Now we're going to go back up. Right click, hit new. Select and render window. And double click on our sandbox. Make sure that it comes up in the reference. The keyword we need here is workshop linked sandbox. Press OK and OK. And save your mod. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our workbench. Make sure that our workbench is highlighted. What we're going to do is come up to the little box again with the T. And this time we're going to put in set own trigger. What the set own trigger does is when you come into the work, as soon as you walk into this little box, you automatically become owner of that settlement. So we're just going to make, you can make it whatever size you'd like, as big or as small as you'd like. I like to do a little bit big. So once you have it the way you like it, turn off your gizmo by pressing 2 key, double click on it, move this over to the side, zoom into your workbench, right click, make sure that linked ref is highlighted, new, Select in reference window, double click on your workshop, make sure it comes up. Does not need a keyword. So press OK, OK, and save your mod. So we're going to do one more thing in this part of the settlement. Part 2, I will be showing you how to do all the scripting. What we're going to do is you're going to double click on your workshop. What you're going to do now is you're going to come over to scripts. Go to workshop script, go to properties. So I'll make this a little as big as I can for you guys. So the first thing we're going to do is owned by player. Click on that, come up to edit value, highlight it, make sure it says true. Come down to enable, just click on edit value, make sure that says false, and allow attacks, again make sure that's false. Now due to the rhythm or that, sometimes the not allow attacks won't work, sometimes they will. Press OK, press OK, and save your mod. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I know this one is fairly long, but this is part 1. And part 2, we're going to be doing the scripting for this settlement. So if you found this helpful, please give this. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. The algorithm will love you. I'll love you. Everyone love you. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Move your mouse a little to the right. And hit that bell icon so you'll be notified each and every time I upload a video. And always remember, wherever the journey takes you, may the road rise up to greet you. I'm Jelly Bean, and thank you so very much for watching.